This is episode 701, and I'm Greg Swanson. Yeah, I've been MIA for a couple of weeks due to some RSS feed, website, and blah, blah, blah issues, but I'm back. I'm back with a new podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the power of visualization to reach your full potential. So imagine you're at the starting line of a race. The finish line feels so far away. Your heart races and doubts begin to creep in. Never happened, right? But now close your eyes and picture it. The end, the cheers, and the satisfaction of crossing the finish line. Can you feel the rush? That's the power of visualization in action. It's just not imagining success, but preparing your mind and body to achieve it. Visualization is not some abstract concept or magic trick. It's a science-backed technique that athletes, entrepreneurs, sales professionals, and everyday people use to boost performance and achieve goals. So today we're going to explore the power of visualization in achieving goals and how it can transform your mindset, performance, and results. So first we're going to talk a little bit about what is visualization. Then we're going to talk about the science behind visualization, techniques for effective visualization, and visualization in real-world scenarios. And then conclusions and some next steps for you to take. So what is visualization? So visualization, what I like to call, how I like to frame it, it's mentally rehearsing something you want to have happen. Now, as opposed to that, worrying, when we worry, we are actually visualizing. We're using the power of visualization. But when we worry, we're mentally rehearsing something we don't want to have happen. So we all know how to visualize, and actually, I prefer the word mental rehearsal, and I'll go into that when we go through some of the steps. But for the sake of this beginning part of the podcast, we'll just use the word visualization. But its role in achievement is, you imagine. So the Brooklyn Bridge, right, was put in somebody's mind first. They used visualization to develop it. The Statue of Liberty, any of the major buildings, any of the major, even Notre Dame, any of those were first in somebody's mind. They had a picture in their mind, and that was visualization. So they brought a picture to their mind, they saw what it was going to look like, and then they went to achieve it. So visualization is not a new process. It's been used, whether knowingly or unknowingly, to create anything. Anything that you look outside your window, the cars, well, not the birds and the nature, but all the other man-made items out there all started with visualization. It all started with an image. It all started with a dream. All those are synonymous with visualization. And so when we look at it from a performance perspective, when we are using visualization to enhance our mindset and performance, we are actually creating. So we go back to mental strength, right? Control, challenge, commitment, confidence. When we're using visualization to create something we want, it unconsciously creates a better mindset, more mental strength, so we will be able to control what we can. We'll have the confidence to go after it, and we'll challenge ourselves. This all leads to higher performance. And so this is actually, in today's game, if you will, this is a transformative concept. But as I explained just a few minutes ago, this is old as anything. This visualization, the Egyptians used it. Everybody used it to create something in life. However, what wasn't used that much was the process of visualization to create a better individual, to create a mindset. It was all, majority of it was used to create something external. So now we're going to flip it and use that same process, but focus it internal. So this has been a proven fact besides the stuff that I've given you. And the most famous study was a high school basketball team. They divided them up into 3 different groups. One group didn't practice free throws. The next group practiced free throws physically. And the next group practiced free throws only in their mind. They did mental rehearsal. Well, obviously, the group that didn't do anything did not improve. The one that did shoot physically, they improved approximately 13 to 18%. The numbers are irrelevant. They just did improve. But what's interesting is the group that mentally rehearsed had a bigger improvement than the group that physically rehearsed. Now, why is that? Well, one, it is wiring, because when you mental rehearse, you are making sure you hit the shot every single time. When you physically rehearse, you may hit it and you may not, so your brain doesn't get wired as tightly as if you're using mental rehearsal or visualization. And so this is one of the first big science studies on how visualization affects results. So the neural pathways, right? So neurons that fire together or wire together, and they create a pathway. So again, if we're doing something physically and we miss 4 out of 10, we're not going to get as strong connection in our brain as if we mentally rehearse and make it 10 out of 10. So we keep mentally rehearsing the act on what we want to accomplish. Now, here's the key thing on this is we don't always necessarily focus only on, we'll use the basketball, for example. We don't always want to focus on just the basketball. We want to focus on the technique that gets the basket in the basketball. How is our weight distributed? How is our feet standing? How does our wrist go back when we shoot the basketball? All of those are the things we want to visualize. When that is all in place, then we release the ball and it automatically goes there. But if we try to mentally rehearse just making the basket all the time and not wire our body on how it's supposed to be, it's not going to work as well. Because what we want to do is create the body, the connections, the weight distribution, the breathing, the hands, all of that leads to the basket. And that's really what we want to mentally rehearse. And so this has been shown. Golfers mentally rehearse. There's been scientific studies on golfers. Matter of fact, there's so much out there that you can just look at, scientific research on visualization, and you will find a ton of articles on it. So now let's use some techniques. First, we want to set some clear, specific goals for visualization. Using the basketball, the goal is not to make the basket. The goal is to produce the physiology to make the basket. So the basket is a byproduct of the physiology being created. So we want to set a goal for our visualization practice. In sales, if you're giving presentations, you'd want to see yourself giving an excellent presentation, not necessarily closing the deal, because you can't control that. You can control how you present, how you breathe, how you handle question. Again, your physiology. So a lot of the visualization we want to do involves us. How are we participating in the event? Whether it's a sporting event, a sales event, maybe we're asking a stranger out for dinner, whatever that is. But we want to set some clear, specific goals. And then we want to use multisensory imagery. This is why I love to call visualization mental rehearsal. Because what you want to do, if you, again, will use the basketball, you want to see yourself standing on the free throw line. In your mental rehearsal, you want to look down, see your feet just behind the white line. You want to feel the muscles in your body moving when you reach the ball up. You want to hear the crowd if there's a crowd. So you want to see what you would see, hear what you would hear, and feel what you would feel as if you are standing on the free throw line to throw the basketball. It's just not a silent movie that's playing in your mind. You want to include all of it. If possible, if there's maybe a smell in the air, it could be one of those nasty gyms that have a smell, or it could be, some other type of, if you're golfing, maybe the smell of cut grass, you'd want to smell that as well. So, but you want to do full sensory. And this is where people get often confused, because they see the word visualization and all they do is picture. And here's what what they do is they picture themselves as if they're watching a movie. Now that's okay, that's second person. But where it's really powerful is first person. So again, see what you would see through your eyes, not see yourself as in a movie. And then you want to do this daily practice. So what's really nice is when you have mental rehearsal, again, basketball, if you can't get to the school's closed, you sit down on your chair, you close your eyes, and you can do 5, 6, 7, 8 mental reps in no time at all. Get up and do whatever you have to. You can do mental reps on any of this, no matter where you are. And that's what's so powerful. That's why mental rehearsal, aka visualization, works so well, is that one, you're visualizing success. Two, you can do it anywhere. You're not dependent on where you go. However, having said that, it has actually been proven that if you go to basketball court, you get dressed in your uniform, presuming you're an athlete, and you stand on the free throw line and then mentally rehearse making the free throw shots, that will be ingrained a lot more than just sitting at home. Sitting at home is great. It does work. It actually works. But if you want to kick it up a notch, going to where you are going to play, the golf course, the sales room. If you know people are going to come into your sales meeting, you go to where the meeting is and you stand there and mentally rehearse. So you combine that with action and you're going to get some great tangible results. So athletes leverage visualization to enhance performance, right? This is some of the real world stuff. Golfers are big on it. Tennis players are big on it. You can, watch any of these documentaries on athletes, Formula One, baseball, football, basketball, soccer. They all talk about mental reps. So if it's good enough for athletes, it's good enough for you. Salespeople do it. CEOs do it, right? Entrepreneurs, mental imagery for business success. Now, again, we don't want to necessarily focus on the result because we cannot control the result if it involves another party, people, or company. But what we can focus on is how do we want to position ourselves? How do we want to respond? How do we want to stand? How do we want to breathe? All of those things we can mentally rehearse. Yes, we want to mentally rehearse it being successful. So if it's in a sales meeting, we want to mentally rehearse the person saying yes, but that is only after we have taken care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally in the meeting. And so everyday examples, right? And actually mental rehearsal can help with stress reduction. Again, because when we worry, we are mentally rehearsing something we don't want to have happen. So if you're worried you're going to go into your boss and ask for a raise and say no, you're mentally rehearsing your boss automatically saying no. So mentally rehearse going into your boss. You're confident, you stand straight, you make your point. Hey, I've raised revenue, I've done this, I've done that, and I would like to get a raise for this reward. You may not get it, but it'll be better assured that the probability of you getting it will be dramatically increased when you mentally rehearse how you want to present your argument. But if you go in there and asking for a raise with your head down and like lack of confidence, it most likely will not happen. So this can also happen with stress reduction. If you're coming up to a situation that maybe is causing you a little bit of stress, you want to mentally rehearse how you want that to happen, the outcome of it, and then how would you need to participate in the event for that outcome to happen, and then mentally rehearse your participation. So there's some common myths about it. Visualization is just positive thinking. It actually, I'm not going to say it doesn't have any thinking involved in it because you have to think about the result, but it's not positive thinking. It's actually programming your mind for what the result you want. It's not just thinking, oh, I'm going to make the shot, I'm going to make the shot, I'm going to make the shot, and then you miss it. No, we're not talking about that. We are actually talking about priming your mind, making those pathways in your brain so that you will succeed. So it is far above just positive thinking. And the other challenge is that people think that visualization works instantly. Well, if you're in sports, you've probably been playing sports for 5, 10, 15 years, and it took you that long to mess up as big as you have, because we're all not perfect. So to think that you're going to sit down for 2 minutes, close your eyes, imagine the outcome that you want, and it all works when it's taken you 15 years, 5 years to get to where you are, you're setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. And that might be a limiting belief, but we'll talk about that later. So visualization works the same way as practice does, perfect practice. And that's what's so great about mental rehearsal is it is perfect practice. It's not perfect, it's a practice. So visualization does not work instantly, but the more you do it and the more repetitions you have, the sooner you will see results. And you have to be a visual person. So I get a lot of clients saying, I can't visualize, I don't know what it is, First, we're going to talk about, you can also pretend, you can pretend that you can visualize, but you can also see. But here's the thing. If we were sitting across from each other and I asked you to describe your bedroom to me or your living room or the interior of your car, you'd be able to describe it perfectly. How does that happen? Because you are recalling, you are seeing, you are visualizing the interior of your car. You're visualizing the interior of your house. So we can visualize, we just don't recognize it. But if you wanted to start to increase that visualization muscle, what I would do is have you close your eyes and walk around your living room and point to the different objects. What color is it? Where are they? That is going to enhance your visualization skills. So here's some key takeaways, right? It's science-backed. The visualization strengthens neural pathways and improves performance. Using vivid imagery, practice daily, and pairing it with action is a very effective technique to improving your mental rehearsal. Real world success, right? We went through some athletes, entrepreneurs, and everyday people rely on visualization to reach their goals. So ready to try it out? Start small, pick one goal, and spend a few minutes each day visualizing it. Remember to be specific, engage your senses, and stay consistent. Visualization is like planting a seed in your mind. With care and effort, it grows into something remarkable. The power of visualization in achieving your goals is yours to harness. This is you, because it's in your mind. You can do this or not do this. So take the first step today, close your eyes, picture success, and make it happen. By weaving visualization into your daily routine, you'll not only see your goals more clearly, but also achieve them with confidence and purpose. So let the journey begin. If you want to see the show notes on this podcast, you can visit warriormindcoach.com. While you're there, you can find some more useful information in the form of other podcasts and blog posts. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.